Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and I have just finished making this journal. It is so sweet, and I've used some Tim Holtz papers, I believe, for the front and back covers. I absolutely love this paper. It's one of my all-time favorite papers, so I knew I wanted to make a cover with it, and I just put some William Morris wide washi tape down the spine in this blue color. This one comes from Washi Wednesday. I used some blue embroidery thread, and I turned this one into a bit of an art journal. And for the inside covers, I actually used one of my wallpaper printables. I can't remember which pack it's from. There's 4 packs in my Etsy. I think this is pack number 2, because pack number 2 I made the more rainbow colourful one. Some of the other ones are a bit more vintage, a bit more muted. And then pack number 2, yeah, I think has all of these different colours. And yeah, I thought I'll use that, see how I go putting that on the inside cover, and I absolutely love it. I love how it looks like watercolour, and it's like just a garden of wildflowers. And I was considering covering it up, so I have this piece here. This is one of my doilies. Again, don't ask me which pack it is. I think I've got about 12 packs in my Etsy, or 14 packs. It's one of the later packs at least. And I really love this doily, and I thought, because I always like to start my journals with the details of the journal, this could be a place card for that. And I was going to stick it on the front like this, but I couldn't cover that. That is so pretty. So maybe it can go there or on any of these other pages. So yes, I made it in the style of my art journal, my other art journals, and here are my other art journals. These ones I have completed, and so fun. I love journaling in this size because the pages aren't as intimidating. And then this is the one I made the most recently that I'm yet to fill up. And then this one, what I was thinking actually is, okay, a bit of a chatty video about my personal journaling. So hang on. Where do I start? So this is my art journal that I very first started with, and it's just a bit of a mix of everything. There were like draft pages for my book. It was just creative expression. It was just having an outlet for myself. So anything and everything kind of went in here. This was my second art journal, and I used this for Messy May. So most of the prompts or pages came from prompts from Messy May, which runs every year. And I've done it 2 years in a row now and absolutely love it. So my idea was to create another one for Messy May this year, and I was thinking this would be the one this year. So same sort of size and ready to go. And then what I thought with this one, I'm having a lot of fun doing like a journal in a day, if that makes sense, like filling up a journal in a day. So I shared a little while back another journal that I had that became like a 5-year journal. I had filled it up with prompts from a journaling challenge, so it was about half filled. And then 5 years later, I sat down and picked up that journal, and just this wave of inspiration hit me, and I filled up the rest of the journal in like the space of a couple hours or a few hours. And I found that so energizing and so thrilling and so fun, just capturing where I was right then. And then I will do a flip through of this journal eventually, but I had this little mini journal, and my aim for this was to fill it up in one sitting. And it did take me about 4 hours or so. I was hoping it would only take me an hour because it's so small. I thought, no, that will only take me an hour. But maybe I think it took about 3 or 4 hours. And I just really loved doing that. I absolutely loved it. Of course, I have to be in the mood for it, and I have a sort of topic that I'm journaling about, a theme. So, you know, the other journal, I was journaling about where I was right now and the difference between the 5 years, like what had changed between the 5 years, and that's how I filled up that journal. Excuse the cat hair. So in this one, yeah, it was more like I'm just going to sit down and let whatever comes out come out, and then it did have a theme. So what I thought for this one, I was umming and ahhing. I was like, do I keep this for me? Do I put it in my shop? Because I created 2 more art journals using covers that I originally made for me, but I put them in my shop recently. One of them has already gone to a new home. This one is now available in my Etsy. So I was originally going to use this one for Messy May. And honestly, if it stays in my Etsy for that long, it might be a sign that I will end up using this for Messy May. But if anyone else is interested in this and you will treasure it, it's in my Etsy, along with, I should have mentioned this like a while ago, but I've finally got around to doing an Etsy restock. Here's my beautiful cat, Keanu. So there's new journals in there and some music paper packs and things like that. But anyway, back to this journal. So my intention was that since I already have an art journal ready to go, I don't want 2 ready to go because, you know, I don't want to fill up my journal space with stuff that I'm not using. So for this one, I wanted to use this in the style of this journal. That was my intention, was that this is my next journal for this kind of journaling where I will fill it up in one sitting. Now it is a bit bigger, so it could take me 5 hours to fill that up instead. But yeah, I don't mind if it takes me like over 2 days, like over a weekend or whatever. But let's do a flip through, and it's just got a whole variety of pages that are sort of meaningful to me. So sketchbook paper, visual diary paper, coffee dye, ledger, textured paper, vintage French paper, some vellum or tracing paper for texture. I love using these in my journals like this type where it's like just capturing the moment. Cream paper, lined paper, teal paper, grid paper. I found this wonderful vintage French paper pad with just this paper in it. I was like, that is so cool. Some blue paper, some vintage ledger, some typewriter paper. I love this. I don't know what this is called, but it's the sheet in between like the pages of a stamp collector's book. You know, that type of paper in between that protects the stamps. Whatever this is, can you buy it separately? Because this is so good. I love it. And then just plain white paper in the middle. And, you know, same thing on the other side. So I'll probably be ripping pages out, gluing pages together. I made it so it has 15 pages, so 30 altogether. But I tend to glue pages together and rip pages out because I add so much stuff to these photos, other papers, pretty things, printables, photos. I said that. So yeah, that is my intention for this. I have no idea what theme I'll be using for it, but the idea is that when a theme is really speaking to me and I feel like I just need to let it all out, I have this ready to go for that occasion. So yeah, it's a new way of journaling. I love it. And yeah, I'm not sure when I'll do the flip through of this one. It's very, very personal. And I find that when you do journal like that, just in a big, you know, letting go and creative expression, the idea for me again was to not think, just journal from the heart and like journal quickly. So it's not like I'm ahhing about the perfect page. This is just get down what needs to be said. And so it ended up being very, very personal and vulnerable and all that kind of thing. So I'm not exactly sure when I'll be sharing a flip through of this. Some time might need to pass first, but all to say, I loved this method of journaling, filling up a whole journal in one go. So has anyone done that? I love it. It's really cool. But I do recommend a small journal. So I'm a bit nervous about how I'll go filling up this one because it is a bit larger. But again, I don't have to fill it up all in one go. I can save the first half of the signature for the first day and then the second half of the second day. But I find, yeah, even having that night in between, like to sleep and you wake up, like you're in a different frame, like you're still there, but your emotions, the emotional energy and where you are at is not exactly the same as the day before. So it's really fun to just get it all down in one go and have that creative inspiration just flow out onto the page, and then you look back at it and you're like, wow, that came out of me. Look at that record. Anyway, I love journaling so much and can't speak highly enough of it. And yeah, it's the best. I just love how there's different methods of journaling and all that kind of thing too. But I hope you enjoyed this flip through of this blue floral journal. Love, love, love it. I have no idea when I'll fill it up, how I'll fill it up, but I'm hoping to do it in this kind of style of just in one sitting. So fun. Yeah, and that's when this comes in handy too. This has been one of the best things I've ever done in terms of my personal journaling, keeping all my pieces, pretty pieces, vellum, scraps, book pages, music paper, doily, pretty papers, wallpaper, just any offcuts, any scraps, ledger, I put in here, and that's how I filled up this journal. I put photos in here, I put printables in here. These are from one of my latest doily packs. So I cut a whole bunch out. These are some other printables from my shop and my Patreon. So I just actually yesterday spent a day cutting these out and going through some of my folders and pulling out the scraps and putting them in here. So yeah, it was getting a bit low, my scrap box. So yeah, I went through everything and is now full again, and I've got new scraps to use because sometimes you get a bit bored of the same scraps. So I keep just topping it up, and then I have a whole bunch of goodies to fill a journal with. And then no matter what I use in this journal, or whatever journal I'm filling up, it's going to be filled with things I love, because when I keep my scraps, I'm only keeping the ones I love, like vintage music paper, vellum, book page, all those kind of pretty papers that I love. They're the only scraps I keep. I used to keep like a whole big huge tub of scraps, every type of scrap you could think of, but now I don't do that. Now I only keep my favorite ones, so that when I pull something from that box, it's going to be something I love, and no matter where it finds itself in the journal, on the pages, I will love it. So yeah, it's a curated box of scraps. I seriously highly recommend a curated box of scraps. Maybe we can do a whole video just on curating a box of scraps so you can follow along with me and do it, because I really recommend it. It's so good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This turned out to be quite a chatty video. Always love chatting about journaling. Let me know in the comments how you like to journal, and if you have your own curated scrap box. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons supporting me in February. I really hope you absolutely love it there. If you would like to become a patron, the link is down below in the description box, and my Patreon is where you get access to the start to finish journal making series each month, sneak peeks and first access to all of my creations, and depending on your tier level, printable kits, every single printable kit from my Etsy plus a new one each month. There are mail tiers and community tiers and all sorts of things. Check the description box down below also for links to my courses, for my journaling courses and creative courses, places to find me, and ways to contact me if you ever have any questions or video requests.